taste of Switzerland's best landscapes, this 3-day route delivers it all. Gondolas and cliff walks in Grindelwald, steamships and mountain trains on Lake Brienz, and a valley filled with 72 waterfalls. Let's dive into the itinerary and see how to spend 3 days in the unforgettable Bernese Alps. Best time to visit. The best months to visit the Bernese Oberland are June through September, when trails to Bachalpsee are clear, lake cruises are running daily, and gondolas to First, Mannlichen, and Schildhorn operate on full summer schedules. Daytime highs average around 68 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 to 24 degrees Celsius, perfect for hiking and outdoor activities. Spring and autumn can be cooler, but early summer and early fall give you long days with lighter crowds. Insider tip. July and August are busiest. If you want fewer people on the trails, plan for mid-June or September. Airport tips. Most travelers arrive via Zurich Airport, Switzerland's busiest international hub. From here, trains run directly to Interlaken, Grindelwald, and Lauterbrunnen, with 1 or 2 easy connections. The journey to Interlaken takes about 2 hours and costs about $50 in second class. Flying into Geneva or Basel is also possible, but Zurich offers the fastest and most direct rail links to the region. Insider tip. Buy tickets or passes through the SBB mobile app. It shows live timetables and lets you compare whether a Swiss travel pass or individual tickets will save you more. Where to stay. Base yourself according to the style of trip you want. Grindelwald is ideal for adventure, with direct access to First Gondola, mountain carts, and scooters. Hotels here range from small family inns at $140 to $200 per night to 4-star spa resorts starting at $250. Interlaken works best if you want flexibility. It sits between Lakes Thun and Brienz, with trains and boats fanning out in all directions. Expect $160 to $220 per night for mid-range hotels in the center. For a quieter Alpine escape, choose Mürren, a car-free village reached only by gondola or train, where cozy chalets average $180 to $240 per night. Insider tip. If you want to save money, look at guest houses in Lauterbrunnen. They're often cheaper than Grindelwald or Mürren, but still close to cable cars and trains. How to get around. Trains, gondolas, and boats are the easiest way to explore this region. The Bernese Oberland Railway connects Interlaken with Grindelwald and Lauterbrunnen, while frequent gondolas link up Mannlichen, First, Pfingsteg, and Schildhorn. Boat cruises on Lake Brienz depart from Interlaken Ost and stop at Geisbach and Brienz, perfectly timed with train arrivals. Tickets can be bought point to point, but if you plan multiple rides each day, the Swiss Travel Pass or a regional pass can save money and time. Taxi and rideshare services like Bolt are rare here. Stick with trains and buses for reliability. Insider tip. If you're riding more than 2 gondolas in a day, check the Swiss Travel Pass. You'll ride the Lake Brienz steamer, the Brienz Rothornbahn, and even the Schildhorn cable car at no extra cost. It pays for itself quickly on this route. Day 1. High Alpine adventures in Grindelwald. Morning. Breakfast at Cafe 3692. Start your day high above Grindelwald at Cafe 3692, where the pastries are flaky, the coffee is strong, and the views are world-class. The cafe takes its name from Eiger's peak elevation, 3,692 meters, which you'll see looming dramatically right in front of you. Locals love it here for its peaceful terrace that catches the morning sun. Inside, the menu keeps it simple. Buttery croissants, fresh bread with Alpine cheese, and cappuccinos that hit the spot before a day outdoors. A light breakfast here usually costs around $12 to $18 per person, depending on whether you order just a pastry and coffee or add heartier plates. Grindelwald First Gondola Ride. From Grindelwald's terminal station, climb into the gondola bound for First, known as the Top of Adventure. The ride takes about 25 minutes, but it feels more like an aerial tour than transportation. As you rise above chalets and green meadows, the view widens to reveal snow-dusted ridges and the jagged north face of the Eiger. Halfway up, the valley drops away, and you get a true sense of just how vast the Bernese Alps really are. At the summit station, you step right into an outdoor playground filled with trails and adventure rides. Standard round-trip tickets cost about $72 per adult, with discounts for children and Swiss travel pass holders. Insider tip: sit on the right-hand side of the gondola for the best views as the valley opens up below you. Late morning, Tissot Cliff Walk. One of the first's most famous attractions is the Tissot Cliff Walk, a narrow steel pathway bolted straight into the mountainside. The walkway winds around sheer rock walls before ending at a glass platform that juts into thin air. Beneath you, the valley floor is thousands of feet down. Ahead, the white crown of Eiger dominates the horizon. It's equal parts scenic and thrilling, but mornings are the best time to do it. By midday, the walkway clogs with visitors and the narrow way can feel crowded. Earlier in the day, you'll have space to enjoy the views and take those daring photos where it looks like you're standing in the sky. Entry is included with the gondola ticket, so there's no extra fee. Hike to Bachalpsee Lake. From the summit station, a clear and well-marked trail leads to Bachalpsee, one of the most photographed alpine lakes in Switzerland. The hike is moderate and beginner-friendly, taking about 1 hour and 15 minutes each way. The path winds past meadows, grazing cows, and wildflowers in summer, with steady but gentle climbs along the way. When you reach the final ridge, the lake appears suddenly, calm and reflective, with snowy peaks mirrored in the water. Many visitors bring a small picnic, while others simply pause to enjoy the views before heading back. The trail is free to access, and you should allow for around 2 to 3 hours for the round trip. Lunch. Bergasthaus first. Back at the gondola station, Bergasthaus first is the perfect lunch stop before the afternoon's adrenaline kicks in. This traditional mountain inn serves up the classics: golden rosti topped with melted cheese, creamy barley soup, and hearty alpine platters piled with sausage and potatoes. Prices here range from $22 to $35 per person, with most dishes hearty enough to share. The outdoor terrace is the prize spot, offering clear views across the Wetterhorn and Schreckhorn while you eat. It's a mountain meal in the truest sense, with scenery as satisfying as the food. Afternoon. First flyer zipline. Once lunch is done, it's time for the thrills. The first flyer launches you 800 meters down a steel cable at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers per hour. You're strapped in securely, seated in a harness, and as the gate opens, you drop off the platform and soar above alpine meadows. The best part? The Eiger and Wetterhorn loom directly ahead as you glide, making the ride feel like a flight into the mountains. A single ride costs about $36 a person. Mountain carts. At the next station down, switching gears for something closer to the ground, mountain carts are three-wheeled gravity carts that take you along a winding 1.8-mile, 3-kilometer track. Steering is easy, brakes are smooth, and the ride mixes bursts of speed with sweeping alpine views. It feels playful but safe, and the route is long enough to make it worthwhile. A cart ride costs around $22 per person, and you can repeat it if you like, though one round is often enough for the thrill. Late afternoon. Trotti bike scooters. Trade wheels again for a trotti bike, part scooter and part mountain bike. The trail leads you all the way back down to Grindelwald village, winding through forests, past alpine huts, and even grazing cows in open meadows. The descent takes about 20 to 30 minutes depending on your speed, and it's one of the most scenic ways to finish the ride down from the first. Trotti bike rentals cost about $22 per person. The experience blends a sense of adventure with a close look at the pastoral side of Grindelwald. Pfingsteg gondola and mountain coaster. Back in Grindelwald, take a short walk to Pfingsteg gondola, the village's smaller lift. The ride up is quick, but at the top you'll find one of the area's most family-friendly thrills, the Alpine mountain coaster. The track lets you control your own speed as you twist down through the trees, braking for views or letting loose for pure fun. A coaster ride costs about $7 per person, while gondola tickets are around $20 round trip. It's lighter than the adrenaline rushes at first, but it's the perfect playful finale before dinner. Evening. Dinner at Fondue Gondola, Hotel Baden. As evening falls, trade adventure for atmosphere at the Hotel Baden's Fondue Gondolas. These are real retired ski gondolas set up outdoors, each transformed into a private dining cabin. Inside, you'll settle at a cozy table for two and enjoy a bubbling pot of cheese fondue with bread, potatoes, and pickles. It's Swiss tradition at its most charming. Prices for the fondue gondola experience start at around $45 to $55 per person, depending on extras like charcuterie or dessert. Insider tip: reserve well in advance. Only a handful of gondolas are available, and they book out quickly during summer and winter seasons. Day 2. A scenic day on Lake Brienz. Morning, breakfast at Velo Cafe Interlaken. After a day of adventure in the mountains, Day 2 begins in Interlaken, the gateway town between two lakes. Just a short train ride from Grindelwald, it's the perfect base for exploring the turquoise waters of Lake Brienz. Start with a breakfast at Velo Cafe, a favorite among locals for its relaxed atmosphere and light, fresh menu. The cafe serves everything from homemade granola and smoothie bowls to hearty sourdough sandwiches with local cheese and ham. A breakfast with coffee or juice usually runs around $12 to $18. With its bicycle-themed decor and central location, it's the perfect place to fuel up before heading to the docks just a few steps away. Boat ride on Lake Brienz. From Interlaken Ost Station, it's only a short walk to the pier where boats depart across Lake Brienz. The most atmospheric choice is the 1107 steamer, a restored paddle boat with polished wood interiors and a working engine room you can peek into. The journey is as scenic as it is relaxing, with turquoise waters framed by cliffs and waterfalls tumbling down the slopes. A standard one-way ticket costs about $35, though Swiss Travel Pass holders ride free. The full crossing to Brienz takes around 75 minutes, giving you plenty of time to enjoy the views from the open deck. Insider tip: stand on the right-hand side of the boat for the best angles of the waterfalls as you leave Interlaken. Late morning, Geisbach Falls stop. One of the highlights of the cruise is Geisbach Falls, a multi-tiered cascade that drops dramatically into the lake. Disembark at the dedicated pier and ride the short funicular up to the historic Grand Hotel Geisbach, where trails lead directly to the falls. You can walk behind the water at one of the upper levels, a refreshing experience on a warm day. The funicular round trip costs about $12, while access to the falls themselves is free. Allow 45 minutes to an hour if you plan to explore before reboarding the next boat. Insider tip: if you want the classic photo, head to the hotel's terrace, which perfectly frames the waterfall against the turquoise lake. Brienz Lakeside Walk. Continue your cruise to the village of Brienz, a lakeside gem known for its woodcarving tradition and postcard views. Step off the boat and take a gentle walk along the waterfront promenade. The path is lined with colorful chalets, flower boxes, spilling over balconies, and benches that look straight out of the turquoise lake. Don't miss Brungasse, often called the most beautiful street in Switzerland, where centuries-old wooden houses line a cobbled lane. The stroll is free and easy, and it gives you a real sense of the quiet charm that makes Brienz so beloved. Insider tip: if you enjoy crafts, stop at one of the small carving workshops. Brienz has been the heart of Swiss wood carving for generations. Lunch, Restaurant Steinbach Brienz. When hunger calls, head a few minutes from the lake shore to Restaurant Steinbach. This rustic chalet-style spot has been welcoming guests for over a century, and its menu blends hearty Alpine classics with lake specialties. Popular picks include rosti topped with ham and cheese, or fresh fish from Lake Brienz. A full lunch with a drink usually costs between $25 and $35 per person. The wood-paneled dining room is cozy in cooler months, while the outdoor dining terrace lets you enjoy the mountain views when the weather is clear. Insider tip: order the rosti if you want something truly Swiss. It's crispy, filling, and a favorite among locals. Afternoon, Brienz Rothornbahn. After lunch, it's time to ride one of Switzerland's most iconic trains, the Brienz Rothornbahn. This steam-powered cogwheel railway has been climbing to the summit of the Rothorn since 1892, and it's still powered by traditional red locomotives. The journey takes about an hour, winding up through forests, tunnels, and pastures before reaching panoramic views at the top. From the summit station, you can see across Lake Brienz into the Swiss Alps, and even as far as the Jura on a clear day. Standard return tickets cost about $75, and reservations are recommended since the trains are small and fill up quickly. Insider tip: book seats on the right side when going up. That's where the best lake views unfold. Ballenberg Swiss Open Air Museum. If you want to dive deeper into Swiss culture, head to Brienz from Wallenberg, an open-air museum that feels like stepping into a miniature Switzerland. More than 100 traditional farmhouses, barns, and workshops from across the country have been carefully rebuilt here, each showing a different era and region. You can wander through timbered chalets, watching demonstrations of cheesemaking, or see artisans crafting pottery and weaving rugs. Admission is about $18 per adult, and you'll want at least 2 hours to explore comfortably. The setting is as beautiful as the exhibits, with meadows, animals, and mountain backdrops making the whole experience feel alive. Late afternoon, Taufer World of Toys. Just next to one of the Ballenberg's entrances, you'll find Taufer World, a playful stop celebrating the famous wooden cows found in toy shops all over Switzerland. Inside, there are exhibitions about how these colorful figurines are made, from carving to painting, and plenty of interactive activities for kids. Visitors can even try painting their own cow to take home as a souvenir. Entry is about $14, and while it's especially fun for families, adults will enjoy the mix of tradition and creativity as well. Insider tip: if you plan to visit both Ballenberg and Taufer, buy a combined ticket. It saves money and lets you move easily between the two. Evening. Dinner at Harderkulm Panorama Restaurant. Back in Interlaken, end your day with one of the region's most spectacular dining views. Ride the Harderbahn funicular up to Harderkulm, Interlaken's own top of the town, in just 10 minutes. At the top, the Panorama Restaurant sits on a ridge overlooking both Lake Brienz and Lake Thun, with the Eiger, Munch, and Jungfrau mountains towering beyond. The menu highlights Swiss favorites such as cheese fondue, rosti, and hearty Alpine meats, with dinner averaging $30 to $45 per person. As the sun sets, the terrace becomes a perfect spot to see the valley lights flicker on below. Insider tip: take a short walk to the glass viewing platform near the restaurant. It extends over the valley for unforgettable photos. Day 3. Lauterbrunnen Valley and Mürren. Morning. Breakfast at Café Central Grindelwald. Begin the day at Café Central, one of Grindelwald's most popular bakeries. The counters are stacked with fresh croissants, bread, and cakes, and the coffee here has a strong local following. A simple breakfast with a pastry and hot drink usually costs around $10 to $15, and if you're hungry for more, small breakfast plates are also available. Its central location makes it easy to stop in before heading to the Mannlichen Gondola nearby. Mannlichen Gondola and Royal Walk. From Grindelwald Terminal, ride the gondola to the top of Mannlichen, one of the best viewpoints in the Bernese Alps. The journey takes around 30 minutes, gliding over meadows and forests before opening onto panoramic mountain scenery. At the summit, follow the Royal Walk, a short 20-minute trail that climbs gently to the crown-shaped platform. From here, you'll have a sweeping view of Grindelwald, Lauterbrunnen, Wengen, and the famous peaks of the Eiger, Munch, and Jungfrau. A gondola round trip costs about $72, and the highlight's worth every minute. Late morning, Wengen Village Walk and Church Viewpoint. Instead of riding the gondola back down, continue your journey by descending to Wengen, a charming car-free village perched above the Lauterbrunnen Valley. The streets here are lined with wooden chalets and small shops selling Swiss crafts and chocolate. Just a few minutes' walk from the station, the village church sits on a small hill, offering one of the most iconic views over the valley below. It's free to visit, and spending half an hour here gives you both a taste of local life and one of the best photo spots in the region. Train to Lauterbrunnen. From Wengen, take the short cogwheel train ride down to Lauterbrunnen. The journey itself is part of the experience, dropping steeply with constant views of waterfalls plunging down the cliffs. Tickets cost about $8 one way, and the ride takes about 12 minutes. Once in Lauterbrunnen, you step into the heart of the valley, surrounded by towering rock walls and cascading falls. It's the perfect transition from the mountain ridge into Switzerland's most famous valley. Lunch at Hotel Oberland. Right in the center of Lauterbrunnen, Hotel Oberland's restaurant is a longtime favorite for visitors exploring the valley. The terrace sits directly beneath Staubach Falls, giving you access to one of Switzerland's most famous cascades while you eat. The menu covers hearty Swiss staples, cheese noodles called Käsespatzel, rosti with mountain cheese, and traditional fondue. Expect to spend around $25 to $35 per person for a full meal with a drink. Insider tip: Ask for a table on the terrace if the weather's clear. The backdrop of Staubach Falls makes lunch here unforgettable. Afternoon, Valley Walk. After lunch, take the pedestrian path that runs through the Lauterbrunnen Valley. The flat trail winds beneath green pastures and traditional farmhouses, with sheer cliffs rising above you on both sides. Along the way, dozens of waterfalls tumble from the rock faces, each one different in size and character. Walking the main stretch to Trommelbach Falls takes about 45 minutes at an easy pace, though you'll want extra time to stop for photos. The path is free access, and it's one of the simplest yet most rewarding walks in Switzerland. Trommelbach Falls. These powerful glacial waterfalls are hidden inside the mountain, carved over centuries by meltwater from the Jungfrau. To reach them, ride the small funicular up to the rock and follow tunnels and walkways past 10 roaring cascades. The force of the water is immense, and the cool mist inside makes it feel like stepping into another world. Entry costs about $14, and most visitors spend 45 minutes to an hour exploring the passageways. It's a fascinating mix of natural spectacle and geology lesson in action. Late afternoon, Grindelwald Honesty Shop. From Lauterbrunnen, continue deeper into the valley by bus to Steckelberg, then ride the gondola up to Grindelwald. This quiet Alpine hamlet has become famous for its Honesty Shop, a tiny self-service store where farmers leave local produce, jams, and crafts for visitors to buy on trust. You simply choose what you want and leave money in a box. It's a charming reflection of the community's spirit and a fun place to pick up a small souvenir. Allow about 30 minutes to browse before continuing up to Mürren. Insider tip: bring some small bills or coins. The Honesty Shop doesn't take cards. Mürren Village. Continue on the gondola from Grindelwald to reach Mürren, a car-free resort village perched on a sunny terrace high above the valley. The wooden chalets, flower-decked balconies, and quiet streets give it a timeless Alpine feel. Take a short walk through the center, stopping at viewpoints where you'll see the Eiger, Monk, and Jungfrau lined up across the horizon. The pace here is slower than Grindelwald, and it's a good chance to enjoy the scenery before heading higher. Insider tip: for one of the best angles at the three peaks, walk toward the sports center. It's less crowded than the main square. Early evening, Schilthorn and Bond World 007. From Mürren, board the cable cars that carry you up to the summit of the Schilthorn at 9,744 feet, 2,970 meters. At the top, the views stretch across more than 200 alpine peaks, with the Mont Blanc Massif visible on clear days. Inside, Bond World 007 tells the story of how the James Bond film On Her Majesty's Secret Service was shot here, with interactive exhibits and film clips. Tickets for the journey to the summit cost about $92, and most visitors spend around 1 to 2 hours exploring the exhibits and enjoying the panorama. Evening, dinner at Restaurant Edelweiss Mürren. End your trip with a dinner at Restaurant Edelweiss, one of Mürren's most welcoming spots. The menu focuses on hearty mountain fare such as cheese fondue, rosti, and grilled meats, with main dishes averaging $25 to $35. The dining room is simple and traditional, but the terrace looks directly across to the Jungfrau, making it an ideal place to reflect on the day before returning down to the valley. Insider tip: call ahead to reserve a terrace table. They are limited and fill up quickly on clear evenings. And that's our 3 days in the Bernese Alps, a mix of mountain adventures, lake cruises, and waterfall valleys that show off the best of Switzerland. If you enjoyed this trip, give us a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next guide. And if you're planning more time here, check out our Zurich itinerary. It's the perfect way to continue exploring Switzerland.